Alright guys and ladies, part 3, my first part 3er, and I don't have all the technical specs for you guys like the actual weight and all that other stuff, and I apologize, I'm just not that guy. I have that all upstairs, but I didn't bring that down for the review, as this was just an impromptu quick review to show the rifle off a touch and give anybody else some input who's thinking about buying one. The finish on the barrel, on the parts, on every inch of this is top quality. Those guys really have the finish down. The fit, on the other hand, is just less than perfect. And I know a lot of guys will tell me that it's crazy not to worry about it. The Army marksmanship team said it doesn't make a difference. I've built a lot of ARs in my time, and I've never had one as loose as this gun is between the upper and the lower. Now, one of the things on the finish, before I get to that I love is, let's see if I can get it in here. You see the American flag there? They put that in on the back of the receiver, and it's covered up by the battle sight when the battle sight's down. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you very well the seam, but let's see if I can get a better view. You can hear it. And it doesn't just wiggle this way on the axis, it also has a little left to right. And I called LWRC and I told them that I was really unimpressed with this and I would like to send it back to have it tightened up. And the guy on the other end of the phone was pretty nice. He said, well, some of that's normal. And I explained to him, yeah, I know that's normal on some of them. I have built a lot of ARs and none of them have been loose like this, and I'm not going to stick an AccuWedge in here. It doesn't need another piece of material that can be flown around in there, and I know they won't. We've used them before. Buddies of mine have used them, and I've seen them extensively tested. I know it's not going to be a problem, but for a gun that you pay like $2,500 for during the big Obama scare, you don't want to stick a piece of $11 neoprene in there or, santoprene rubber to make it tight when it should be that way from the get-go. The pinholes are where it's at. I don't think it's too much of the side to side. I think these are milled well together. I think the hole was drilled too big in the upper. And, I'm not the guy, the tech guys can get all mad at me or do what they want to do. LWRC can text me or leave a comment about what a jerk I am. I'm not trying to bash your product. I've fired every kind of dirt bag ammo through this gun I can find. The thing works like a top. I can't commend them anymore on that. But when I squeeze the trigger on a dry fire and I can see the upper move while I'm standing still, when the hammer falling on that firing pin moves the upper, you can't tell me that doesn't affect accuracy. Especially if I'm hanging on here, in contact with my body here, and this can move independently when the part I'm holding hits it. So I know the marksmanship team said that doesn't affect accuracy, and those guys are good, to say the least. And maybe on their guns it didn't, but I'll tell you this gun shoots well, but it would shoot a lot better if it was, built to feel like one piece. So I called him, the guy's real nice. I said I want to send it back and have it tuned up a little. He said, no problem, we'll give you a ID number, here, what's your email? I gave him the email, and they said, okay, you have to use this, and it'll be a free UPS label you print out, and it'll come back to us. I said, no problem. He said, you got 10 days to get it done. It was a busy week at work. I called him on a Monday, so I went Friday, 5 days later, to get it off the email. It'd been removed, and not by me, because I was looking on my phone to find it. I pulled it up at work just to double check. The email had been absorbed, taken back or something by LWRC as far as anybody can tell, and I was unable to use that to send it back. So I called 2 more times, and I waited 3 weeks between each phone call to give them a chance to respond, to let them know what had happened, like, hey, something happened with the email. I wasn't angry or trying to blame them or anything. I was trying to figure out what happened, and I told them, it looks like the email just disappeared. I know you said I had 10 days, but it had only been 5. If you guys could send me out another one, I appreciate it. Call me at this number. This is my name. And I'd really like to get this gun in. because I plan to use it extensively soon. And I never received a call back from either message. So I don't know if you have to call during business hours and speak to a human being, or if they have a problem with their message system, or what's going on there. But that initial meeting with their customer service really made me feel good about the amount of money I spent on this rifle. And in the end, when I wasn't able to send it back and I received no answers from follow-up phone calls, 2 follow-up phone calls, that kind of soured me on these guys, even though the rifle works. And I'm going to give them another attempt, and if I get great response, I will gladly amend this video or post a follow-up video that it was a misunderstanding. These guys did great. I had a hiccup with them, but everything worked out. But until then, I have to say the customer service, when they speak to you, are nice. But as far as actually getting done what you need done, they suck. And that's as simple as it gets. The rifle, I have fired Black Hills, Blue Box, 50 grain varmint tip, and 55 grain hardball. I have fired Wolf, and I have loved this gun. It has never hiccuped. I know a lot of guys on the internet were saying it won't fire steel case ammo. That's a crock. This thing will fire anything you put in it, and it will keep firing it. It was, with the Black Hills at the range, pretty damn accurate. And I don't think the gun degraded in accuracy because of firing a couple hundred rounds. I think it degraded in accuracy because I pulled a bore snake through it that I'd used to clean a .22 handgun that was leaded severely. And I grabbed the wrong one when I went to clean this rifle. And I think I leaded the barrel by trying to clean it. I just made a couple passes with it dry to take care of it because the gun was so clean on the inside, especially compared to a standard AR, that a couple passes in the barrel was all I thought it needed. And then when I took it back to the range, it was just brutally different in accuracy. I really believe that it was that lead from that bore snake giving me a hard time. So I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed it for an hour, just pulling black out of it. And I tightened them up by 50 or 60%. And then I scrubbed it again, and I haven't had a chance to take it back to the range. So once I get it back, we'll see how it is. They're guaranteeing superb accuracy. Day 1 it had it. Day 2 it was gone. I really think that was my fault. The rifle shoots anything and everything you give it. The handling, the finish, the quality, outstanding. The fit between the upper and the lower is severely lacking in my opinion. Others will say that is no big deal. They don't mind it. And for those, buy that gun. It'll be all you ever wanted. For those of you who do care about that being just a bit tighter, you might want to just carefully select which one you grab instead of grabbing the only one they got, because they're hard to get, and they, well, at least at the time I bought it, were very hard to get, and I didn't want to wait 6 months for another one, because like everybody else, I was wondering if we would be able to acquire them when that 6 months finally came around. So it's a nice gun, shoots well, not too heavy, very, very reliable. I may switch out the handle. Not a big fan of this Myad grip at this point. I got to do some more range time with it. The trigger breaks clean, and I think I even got to go into another part.